If you are preparing for CELPIP in 2026 and reading feels confusing, stressful or unpredictable, this video is for you, because here's the truth. Most candidates do not lose marks in the easy reading questions. They lose marks in the hardest part of the reading test. And today I'll explain exactly why CELPIP reading feels harder in 2026, which question types cause the most mistakes, and how to approach them without panic or guessing. Stay till end, because this strategy alone can improve your reading scores by 1 or 2 CLB levels. So let's start with the big picture. It's becoming more thinking-based reading in CELPIP nowadays. Easier CELPIP mainly tests whether you could find information, meaning, opinions and intention. That's why the hardest questions are clustered in the later parts of the reading section, and the difficulty comes from 4 main areas: reading for viewpoints, interface-based questions, integrated information questions, and high-level vocabulary with abstract topics. So let's break them down one by one. So now let's talk about toughest section, that is a reading for viewpoint. Yes, this is widely considered the difficult part of CELPIP's reading, and for a good reason. In this section, passages are longer and more academic in style, but the real challenge is not length. The challenge is that you are no longer reading facts, you are reading people's opinion, different speakers, different attitudes, different perspectives, and CELPIP wants to know whether you understand who agrees, who disagrees, who is concerned, and who supports an idea exactly. Here is the biggest mistake students make. They read slowly, line by line, trying to understand everything. Instead, you must read strategically. Is their attitude positive, negative, or neutral? The question will almost never repeat or same words from the text. They will be paraphrased. So if you are searching for keywords, you feel lost. But if you understand overall opinion, then answer becomes clear. This is where higher level CLB readers separate themselves from average readers. Now let's talk about interface-based question. These are the questions that ask, what does the author imply? What does the writer suggest? What is the most likely true? These questions are harder than direct questions, because you must connect ideas from different parts of the passage. There is a very important rule. CELPIP interface answers are usually moderate, not extreme. If an opinion sounds too strong, too emotional, too absolute, that's usually wrong. Words like always, never, completely, absolutely, these are dangerous in interface questions. The question answer usually sounds balanced, reasonable, and logical. And another key point, interface never comes from one sentence alone. If you rely only on one line, you are guessing. If you look at the big picture, you are choosing intelligently. Now let's move to the integrated information and multi-sentences. Yes, this is another area where many candidates struggle. These questions require you to combine information from multiple sentences, or sometimes from multiple short text. So there is no single keyword that gives you the answer. This creates confusion and time pressure. Here is a smart approach for this. Stop asking, where is the answer? Instead ask, which idea is supported more than once? If 2 or 3 parts of the passage supports the same idea, then option is usually correct. CELPIP rewards your ability to get correct information, not just scan quickly. If you train this skill, your accuracy improves immediately. So now let's talk about vocabulary and abstract topics. So harder CELPIP reading passages often discuss topics like education policy, technology and society, workplace ethics, environmental issue. Many students panic when they see unfamiliar words, but here is a powerful truth. You don't need to understand every word to answer correctly. Instead, focus on the purpose of sentence, the direction of the argument. Contrast words like however, although, despite. If you stop to translate every unknown word, you will run out of time. Reading success comes from flow, not perfection. Unknown words slow down your only reading part if you let them. Now let's talk about time pressure. Most reading mistakes happen in the last few questions. Why? Because the hardest questions come later. The language heavier and students are already tired. Here is a simple but powerful strategy. Do not overspend time on early, easy questions. Answer them confidently and move on. Save your mental energy and time for viewpoints, interface, and integrated information. This alone can protect your score from dropping at the end. Let's bring everything together. Then final strategy for CELPIP Reading 2026. To succeed in CELPIP Reading in 2026, you must read for meaning, not keywords. Track opinions, not details. Practice interface and correct answers. Stay calm with abstract vocabulary and manage your time for the hardest sections. CELPIP is not testing how fast you read. It is testing how well you think in English. If reading feels difficult right now, then does not mean your English is weak. It means your strategy is outdated. Once your strategy improves, your scores follow. If you like this video, hit on like and subscribe to my channel for more CELPIP videos.